¿Qué onda, gringos and latinos? It's El Lobo Mestizo here to face off against an old foe, the Steampianist. Since so many of you lovely peeps have demanded me to do another Steampianist video, I am here to supply. And for those who live normal lives, please vacate the video, because we are going to enter the dark side of YouTube once again. On to the lyrics!
Five men were told a lie. They grasped a new fortune, a chance to live their lives that could not live immune. Deteriorated minds, they tore at flesh like snakes, and all was left behind was the will to stay away.
Man, as soon as the lyrics start, this song hits us with a bitch slap of truth. 5 men were told a lie. They grasped upon ill fortune, a chance to live their lives, but could not live immune. This verse is telling us that someone lured in 5 innocent souls who hoped upon false trust by telling them that they would be able to live a normal life, but they would never be able to recover from what was going to happen to them. And to those who don't know what deteriorated minds means, it means slightly getting worse. Kind of like my editing. Ba-dum-tsh. Anyways, the line deteriorated minds means that their minds are slightly getting worse, meaning that they're losing their minds and they're tearing each other apart like snakes. I didn't know snakes teared each other apart, but okay. And the chilling line, all that's left behind was the will to stay awake, tells us that these men had everything taken away from them. Their freedom, their rights, and even the right to sleep. I would go insane too, obviously. Ugh, the chorus gives me such goosebumps. Have you forgotten so easily? A line that the 5 men asked their perpetrators. He later tells them that they are them. They are the madness and the greed they see when day breaks, and tells the perpetrators that they wish to stay with their kidnappers. Ooh. The victim in this chorus are now the predators who are no longer scared of the people who kidnapped them, proving that whatever is happening to them went from having them have the victims to them being the torturers of the torturers. Man, how the turns have tabled.
And experiment with thoughts, to deplore the right harmony, the memory of the results. The results could restore the memory.
A reoccurring pattern that I see with the Steampianist is using musical words in their lyrics to bring out some kind of point. In this instance, they use a word, monody, which actually has 2 meanings, depending on the angle that you see it. The first meaning is a poetic stance, which monody means poem in which one person laments another's death. And the second meaning, from a musical standpoint, it refers to a solo vocal style distinguished by having a single melodic line instrumental accompaniment. So, putting into perspective to both meanings, when they say an experiment with faults didn't bother to write a monody, from a poetic meaning, it's talking about how the people who did the experiments never lamented the death of the people that they harmed during the torture. And from a musical meaning, it's saying that the people from the experiment didn't bother to write the victims a solo vocal style. Man, imagine being tortured and having your torturers not write you a song. Kind of a dick move, isn't it? And we are hit with the line, no memory of the result, no result could restore the memory, which I interpreted as mass false of spread of this story on the internet, and hope that there are now actual evidence of this occurrence. Obviously, because all the people who did the experiment wanted to keep it a secret, so this story was mostly just spread by rumors.
The commies had the clue that once MEP could be nullified. As they all poured help, they knew when we were in this will not be certified.
The commies hadn't a clue? How dare you, Steampianists! This message is directly to you. Communism is the future, and we need to embrace this new way of life so that we can all be equally miserable. So the song goes on to talk about commies, which obviously is talking about the communist power that took over Russia, China, and many other countries back in 1847. This theory was created by a sexy man named Karl Marx, and the only reason I'm saying this interesting information is because I remember it from my freshman year in high school. And what they are saying in the next line, that one's sanity could be nullified, is saying that the communists who did the experiment had no idea the consequences of their psychological breakthrough. They were just doing it out of curiosity, not caring about the results. And in the line, as they offered help, they knew any forgiveness would not be certified. The victims are saying that the experimenters regretted doing what they were doing to the five and wanted to help them, but after tearing each other apart, having the right of sleep being taken away from them, a simple sorry wouldn't do. So what I've seen from most of my subscribers' usernames, I know most of you are creepypasta fans, and as creepypasta fans, you will know that this song is talking about the obvious story of the Russian sleep experiment. And for those of you who don't know what the Russian sleep experiment was, it's basically an experiment which was done by Russian scientists during the time of World War II. Whether the Russian sleep experiment actually happened or not is not proven, but I will tell you the story anyways. The story goes that there was an experiment that consisted of 5 men who I'm guessing were prisoners that were captured by the Soviet Union during World War II. In the experiment, the scientists told the victims that they were going to be forced to stay awake. After the experiment was done, they would be freed. Which, to obvious reasons, they said yes, they would go through with the experiment. So when the experiment started, the first 2 days were normal. But after a few days of this gas being pulled in by them, they started screaming so loud that their vocal cords would break. They stared into the cameras that was filming them, and when it was time for them to be released, they told the Russians that they no longer wished to be freed, like the quote said in the chorus. The experiment went on for a while longer, to the point where the 5 victims were tearing each other's flesh apart to where they were just muscle. And one day, one of the scientists couldn't take the experiment any longer. He snapped, so he killed his partners and went to kill the last victim of the experiment, and the scientist asked, "Who are you?" To which the victims responded, "Have you forgotten so easily?" Just like said in the song. We are you. We are the madness that lurks within you, begging to be freed at every moment in your deepest animal mind. We are what you hide from in your beds every night. We are what you sedate in silence and paralyze when you go to the nocturnal heaven, where we cannot tread. The scientist kills the last victim and says, and the victim says, "So nearly free." Hope you aren't watching this at night, because I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be able to sleep after that. So the obvious analysis is about the Russian sleep experiment, but the song has more meaning to it than just a creepypasta. I think Steampianist is talking about all the poor victims of the experiments done by the Nazis, the Russians, during World War II. And I just feel like, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like he's trying to kind of tell this story through music to kind of remind us of what happened during World War II. Did you agree with my analysis? What other song would you like me to analyze? For new videos being uploaded every week on Monday, please subscribe to El Lobo Mestizo, and I will see you next time.